kind of from like an outside picture, like it just seems like you're at Genesee Beach or the Wall, and that is what surfing in New Hampshire is. But as I grew up here and spent more time here and just met different people in the community and surfed with different people, you realize kind of how many more layers there are to it. My name is Lars Hamilton. I'm 25 years old and born and raised right here on the seacoast of New Hampshire. So I learned to surf in Rye as a little kid. My mom just dragged us down to the beach every day, and kind of from like an outside picture, like it just seems like you're at Genesee Beach or the Wall, and that is what surfing in New Hampshire is. But as I grew up here and spent more time here and just met different people in the community and surfed with different people, you realize kind of how many more layers there are to it and how many more waves there are. And I think that's really what kind of excites me and keeps me here, is that it's so difficult to get conditions right and get everything right, that the more experience you have, the easier it gets, and it's kind of addicting. That just kind of keeps you here. And I think that's why there's people in this community that have been surfing here for 50, 60 years, just because it's so finicky and so hard to get good, that as you gain that experience, it almost becomes something special that you don't want to let go of, and you don't want to go elsewhere and have to reset. And so for me, I guess that experience was just being down at the beach every day and making friends in the water, making friends at the surf shops, and eventually you figure out kind of what the tide's doing at certain places or what the swell's doing at certain places. And now here I am, 25 years old, and I'm still just like focused on living here because I'm just gotten sucked into it, and I like these waves. They don't break that often, but it's kind of the excitement of knowing when they might be good next that I think keeps us chasing it. The waves have been fun lately, so let's go check it out.
I'm standing here in the light, staring the sun in the eyes. There ain't no change in my mind. I can do anything, anything. I'm out here having the time of my life. What could be better? Yeah. Oh me, oh my, just enjoying the ride. Like it's now or never. Myself finally figured out. Oh, just look at me now. I can be anything, anything. I'm out here having the time of my life. What could be better? Yeah. Oh me, oh my, just enjoying the ride like it's now.
Although the coastline's really short, it's only 13 to 20 miles from Portsmouth to Seabrook, depending on how you measure. There is an incredible diversity of different waves, which is really unique and really special because there's kind of three main factors, I guess, that come into getting waves here, and one being swell, one being wind, and one being tide. There's just so many different waves that work on different combinations of those three elements. And so it's really easy to go surfing every day. Like, you can always have at least one of those things, and you can always find a wave down at the beach break, but it gets harder and harder for everything to align to get it really good. And so that's why the waves are so inconsistent here, but there are a few times a year when the swell's right, the tide's right, and the wind is right. And if you're at the right place at the right time, it can be incredible. So that's kind of what keeps me here and what keeps the chase so exciting. Like, people say, oh, like, there's no surf in New Hampshire. And like, that's a pretty fair assumption. Like, the waves are usually pretty mediocre here, but those three elements, you know, the swell, the wind, and the tide, like, they do come together a couple times a year. And so we've been surfing the last couple weeks, we've been in the water, like, nothing special, but there's a couple times a year when everything aligns, and the surf here, if you're at the right place at the right time, really can be world class. And people think that's crazy, but all you got to do is come down here on the right hurricane swell and you'll see it. And so that's really special, and it makes, like, all those in between waist high, windy, sloppy days in between, just makes it all worth it. All right, well, thank you guys for coming down to the New Hampshire Seacoast. There's some waves right now, so we're gonna go give it a cruise, but you're watching episode 5 of Locals Only. We'll see you this winter.